Well, good afternoon and good morning. And wherever you are in the world, it's Michael Dotterer and we're on the dot. And we have a wonderful show for you today. As you can see in my background, we're going to talk about this new company called Pre-Snap. And you could probably figure out by the picture behind me, it has to do with American football. So, our guest is the co founder of Pre-Snap, and we're going to bring him on in just a few minutes. But before we get started, we always like to thank our sponsors. And in this case, we're going to have one sponsor to thank, and that's a company called Anacia. And the company, it's part of To Be Kind, and I'll flash below the banner. It's a great company. The product is unbelievable. I'm 61 years old. My back is not feeling well, and I put on this amazing oil called Anacia, and it's instant relief for me. And I've shared it with some of my friends who've had, for example, chronic arthritis in one of my friend's ankles. He told me the next day after he used this, he said it's just fabulous. And so Anacia, I'm going to flash down below the link that you can learn more about Anacia. It's truly an amazing product, and not to be confused with the word panacea. It's Anacia, and you can go to that website, tobekind.com. So with that, I also want to wish some of my friends happy birthday. We always like to a shout out to those that who are having their birthday today. And at first, we like to start with the ladies. And I want to first wish Brianna Bain happy birthday. Brianna was one of the great track stars at Stanford. She threw the javelin, and I think she's working with Robinhood, the company that kind of revolutionized purchasing stock for people that want to make it easier for them to purchase a stock in a company. And so happy birthday, Brianna. And it's also, and I didn't know him, but he was a very famous British mathematician. They did a great movie about him, Alan Turing. He was born in 1912. So happy birthday to Alan, who's up in the quantum space. And happy birthday to my former teammate from Stanford, Dave Moronic, one of our star defensive linemen. Happy birthday, Dave. And happy birthday to my fraternity brother and venture capitalist, very successful. And I think he was even involved with the Warriors that just won the NBA championship, Fred Harmon. Happy birthday, Fred. Brother Fred. And happy birthday to another Stanford teammate of mine, Doug Rogers, who played professional football. Happy birthday, Doug, after his Stanford career. He was a great player out of Bakersfield, California. And happy birthday to another outstanding athlete, good friend of mine from Oakland, California, Bruce Bolany. Bruce's birthday. He was a great basketball player, and a shout out to Bruce. And finally, to one of the great wide receivers in Stanford football history, Tony Hill. Happy birthday, Tony, and also one of the great Dallas Cowboys. So happy birthday to Tony. I am going to give our guest a call right now because I don't see him yet online. So let me call him and see where he is. Here we go. We're going to make a call, and you can see when I give him a ring here. So let's see if he's out there. Let's see. Hey, Kai, are you joining us?
Yeah, it says waiting for a host to start to speak.
Oh, it's on. Oh, you know what? Did you check your email? StreamYard. You have to click. We're on StreamYard. It's on StreamYard. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, there's an email I sent you. It's on StreamYard. It's okay. Yeah, check your email, and we're broadcasting live on StreamYard. So I emailed you. It might be in your spam folder.
I have the invite, but I only have the Zoom link. I don't have
Here, I'll do it right. I'll send it to you right now. Here, I sent it to you last night. Here it is. I'll email. Here's this. Here it is. I'll send it to you again. So here we go. And it's kai@presnap.com. And there's the link. It's a StreamYard link. It's not a LinkedIn link. Okay. I just emailed it to you. Okay. It's okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're broadcasting live. We've got some people watching right now. These are the little technical difficulties when you do a program and you're doing it by yourself and you don't have people behind you doing all the moderation. I'm actually doing everything. So it's exciting because it's getting easier and easier. People are finding that getting online. And Kai, tell me if you got the email. Did you get the email? Okay, I'm gonna hang up. Yep. You haven't gotten the email? Maybe I have the wrong email. Okay, let me do it again here. So it could be in your spam folder. It's okay. So it's kai@presnap.com. I know you got it. Okay, brother. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that these things happen. But in any event, Kai's coming on. Let me give you a little background on Kai. Kai and I met because of I guess you call it happenstance. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was in California in a Costco parking lot. And one of, I think Kai's mother or father was wearing a Texas Longhorn baseball cap. And I said, hook 'em horns. I did the hook 'em horns. And we started to talk, and I found out that their son was a football player at Los Altos High School in California. And they said that he was going on to the University of Texas to play American football. And I said, oh, I would love to meet Kai, and I'd love to follow his career. Any event, to make a long story short, after Kai graduated a year or so ago, his parents reached out to me just recently and said, you need to connect with Kai because he started this company called PreSnap. So with that, I'm going to bring Kai on to talk more about his background, about his experience at Los Altos, his experience at the University of Texas in Austin, which is a great school, and how he came up with this vision along with his co-founder of PreSnap. So with that, welcome, Kai.
Hi, Mike. Appreciate you having me.
It's good to have you on the dot. So I guess the invitation went into your spam folder, right?
Yeah, it did. Sorry about that.
Exactly, no problem. So Kai, why don't you share with your audience your background? Because we want to know, where you were born, your experience at Los Altos High School playing sports and obviously American football, and then you went on to the University of Texas, which one of my heroes, because I was a running back, was Earl Campbell back in the day.
Yeah.
And if you ever, tell me if you've ever met Earl and all those things.
Yeah.
So, Kai, take it over.
Yeah. So I was born in Japan, and I moved over. My mom's Japanese, so I was born in Japan, moved over here like 2 weeks after I was born to Los Altos. Basically, born and raised here. Played basketball. Basketball was like my main sport up until sophomore year of high school. I told my mom I want to try football, and she was really scared. But football just kind of came naturally to me, and I ended up being a preferred walk-on at Texas, which was my dream school. My dad went there, my grandparents went there, and then my cousins went there, and my aunt also went there. So always kind of that weird California kid that was wearing Texas stuff to elementary school, but ended up being able to play football there. But of course, once I got there, I was very behind in terms of what I knew football wise. I was the fourth player from my high school's history to play FBS football. So really, we hadn't sent a lot of people to big schools like Texas. And so I didn't know anything, but after a year there, my first spring, I learned a ton, and I realized, man, if I knew half the things that I just learned this first year in high school, I could have been so much a much better player. My college career probably could have been a lot different too. So I kind of came up with pre-snap then was like, why isn't there a way for me to learn football football coaching things online? And I brought this to my receivers coach, Drew Maringer, and I was like, why isn't there something like this? I want to start a company doing this. And he said, it's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing, but from the coach's side, because I always have high school coaches come up to me at the Texas clinics and ask for videos on releases and different things. And I want to be able to monetize this. Why am I giving this out for free? So from there, pre-snap was kind of born, and I've been working on that pretty much ever since I graduated last year. But yeah, it's pretty much what we've been doing.
Yeah, well, when I heard about pre-snap, I thought to myself immediately, Salman Khan. And when you and I first spoke, Kai, you know who Salman Khan is,
Right.
but many of our audience don't know who Salman Khan is. Could you share with people who Salman Khan was, and maybe he
Yeah.
inspired you? Because I know
Right.
he moved to the Silicon Valley.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, we started so Solomon Khan started Khan Academy, and we started using Khan Academy probably in middle school. And I think we were probably one of the first schools kind of in the area to use it. But basically, he was teaching his niece math through YouTube videos, and they kind of blew up. And he decided to create a platform that's free for everyone to learn different math skills. And then now it's pretty much everything. But basically, we kind of want to leverage that same idea of all of his videos are 10 to 15 minutes in length because he's realized no one can pay attention for any more than that. So the biggest issue right now is there are existing platforms for football with there's coaching videos out there, but a lot of them are the current system is a clinic, right? So they're like hour-long clinics of people talking, and really no one's going to be able to learn everything from listening to an hour, and people usually don't even have an hour to sit down and watch something. But 10 to 15 minutes, people have a window here and there to watch something like that, and you can actually learn something. So that's basically what we want to be, the Khan Academy of football at the end of the day.
It's exciting because I remember when I found out about Khan Academy, and I was blown away with that story. And then when I saw what you and your co-founder is doing, and could you share with everybody who your co-founder is?
Yeah, so actually I have a few co-founders, but my first co-founder was my TA my sophomore year, Markin Williams Capone. He was in my creative coding class and pretty much was the only reason I got an A in that class, because I would go to his office hours and he would help me with all my projects. So basically he's doing all the engineering stuff. He's a CTO. And then my third co-founder is Drew Maringer, and he's the tight ends coach at Oregon right now, but he was my receivers coach. And then also we have Colin Johnson, who's the receiver for the New York Giants right now. He played receiver with me at Texas, and then he was also from the Bay Area, went to Valley Christian.
So you're putting together a great team, and as you know from sports, I mean, you're only as good as your teammates. And
Exactly.
And what's exciting for me is I just love your entrepreneurial spirit. I love the fact that you're going to not just help educate people that want to play the game, the great game of American football, but you're also going to help people understand football, and it can be global. I mean, there's people I know. There are people in Italy that play football. There are people that in Japan play football. Football is all over the world, and a lot of people don't understand the game of football. So you're not just going to help people, young people that want to play the game, but also for people that want to understand the game.
Right. Yeah. So we have different different ways of teaching, right? So there is videos that are meant for the players who want to play in college, and high school players who want to get better, and also these coaches who want to coach up their kids better. But we also have this thing called Every Man Ball, which is meant for more of your armchair quarterback, the guy that loves to watch football on Saturdays and Sundays, but they don't actually play, right? But they would love to brag to their buddies about, oh, hey, look at what's coming. I know what's coming because I've been watching these pre-snap videos. And then also, right, Mike, you mentioned that the foreign market is something that we want to step into first because there's a lot of players international because football is growing, but they don't have access to the coaching that we do here in the States. But with technology, we can change that.
Absolutely. Well, we are coming up on the 15-minute mark. And, as you probably know, Kai, people's attention span, we could
Right.
talk for
We just
hours and
talked
hours.
about it.
But what I want to help you with is I would love to help you connect,
Right.
connecting the dots with people out there that I've, become friends with throughout my life. And there's people out there that love the game of football. And if they want to get involved with your team and perhaps maybe as a potential investor, we've put down here the link to pre-snap, but maybe there's a better way for them to connect with you. So do you want
Yeah.
to share with someone out there that might be listening and that thinks, God, how can I get involved with pre-snap? How can I help pre-snap grow and thrive?
Love to connect with anyone. My email is Kai at presnap.com, just the same as the link below. And I'd love to connect with anyone. But yeah, it's really exciting what we're doing right now and looking forward to growing.
And Kai, as we do on the dot, you get the last word. So there's probably some young player like yourself when you were at Los Altos High School listening or is going to listen to this recording. What inspiration can you give to them, and how can pre-snap help them? Because I think you told me how if pre-snap had been around when you were in high school, you might have had a different experience.
Honestly, I'd say I think the biggest goal for me with pre-snap is I believe we can change the game of football because if everyone has access to the best knowledge, right? Right now, the biggest issue is location. Depending on where you live, kind of determines how great you can your maximum potential for football most of the time. If you live in one of these bigger cities like Dallas or Houston and go to a great school with a 6A school with a lot of great coaching, your potential is much higher than if you're from a really small town in the middle of Iowa. It's much harder to get recruited. But with pre-snap, I think we're basically giving everyone the best coaching in football and making it available to everyone through one platform that's accessible. It's not incredibly expensive. And I really believe we can change the game of football and make the quality of play so much higher through this platform.
Thank you so much, Kai, for joining us on the dot. And we definitely want to have you back on as you grow this wonderful organization, presnap.com. And thank you for your vision and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Don't go away. I'm just going to hit the button to end the broadcast.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Kai.
See
Thank
ya.
you, brother.
Thank you.